So I've taken some time off and I've really looked at this video series and I've discovered that I'm going to start structuring it differently. It's going to be into 4 parts, and this is something that I'm very happy, and it's something that actually needed to be done. So for the first part is going to be an Azot's Adul. Now, what is an Adul? An Adul is a little verse that the Azot has written down that pretty much sums up their life in a paragraph or so. So starting off with the first Adul is us resurrection. I live a pretty average life. I eat breakfast in the morning. Sometimes I go for a morning jog. I also kill people and make them join my resurrected army. It's just your average stuff a woman would do. People need my help becoming resurrected. I will help you. Allow me to be your leader. I will help you succeed. I hate people that try to destroy my coffin. I spent so long making these. Ugh! These are custom made. It's not like I go down to a guy and say, hey, I need coffins that could support Azots. Whoa. I got a little off track there. Sorry for my rant. I'm just your normal, average girl with a giant anti-shock coffin. So I enjoy watching people join my army. See, we have cupcakes. Now wait, I get it. You might be a little skeptical, saying to yourself, seriously? Is she trying to lure us in with cupcakes? My response to that is pretty simple. Who cares? Cupcakes are so cute. I make cute little designs with sprinkles and whatnot. So yeah, join my army or I will force you to join. Us resurrection is known as the supremacy of resurrection in the Ovean universe. Imagine waking up every single day to people running away from you. This is the reality of us resurrection. And that is primarily how she lived. She never knew who her parents were, and she always tried to find out anything about her. But whenever she would go up to people, they would look at her and scream and run away. She started realizing that no one ever wanted anything to do with her. Every time she was angry, her eyes would start to glow purple. And she realized that every time she either betrayed someone or hurt somebody, her body started getting discolored. Again, it was this weird purple color. So she had nothing to lose at this point. She kept betraying people and started beating people up. As the year went on, her body drastically began to change. In the span of a year, she went from a little girl to an adult. Now that she was an adult, she didn't really care what she did, so she started causing chaos, and she started realizing that this just kept making her body stronger. So she stopped caring about what other people thought, and she wanted people to embrace the fact that they were afraid of her. Whenever someone would try to talk to her, she would become offended and easily angered, and she would beat them up. Sometimes she would even kill them to make her power stronger. And eventually what happened was she woke up one day and her body was a spirit. There are a lot of rumors going around that she actually was the spirit that him heard inside of his head. You know, if we go back to him's story, he believed that her was the voice inside of his head, but that's not the case. All of this time, it was us resurrection. And that's where we go into the story of when us resurrection goes from a being to a spirit. Now we're into the really interesting stuff. When us resurrection is a spirit. Us resurrection around this time finds the body of him, and she pretty much wants to learn every single thing that she can. She realizes that him is full of emotions and can be really easily manipulated. She uses that to her advantage because she begins creating plot points that him should go after her. Every time him gets upset, and even if he cries, she gains a lot of strength and she feels that she can escape his body and actually become something greater. Now, she knew that she was an Azot inside of an Azot's body. And around this time, she began to get these weird signals inside of her head. And one night, she was very close to discovering what these telepathic thoughts that were coming to her head were when she actually felt like she had a hand. She actually moved her hand and it came out of his chest. And that's when she tried to break out, but that's when him grabbed the hand of us Resurrection and pushed it back down into his chest. As soon as that happened, us Resurrection started losing a lot of her feelings of being able to escape him. And this really worried her because she just wanted to be free. At this time, she actually had the ability to make coffins. So she started making an island full of these coffins, and she was planning, once she escaped this body, to bury him inside of a coffin. Now, these weren't your average coffins. They only worked with the powers of us Resurrection. So this pretty much means that if someone were to, grab one of her coffins and put someone inside of it, it would do nothing. But if us Resurrection grabbed the coffin, she would have the ability to resurrect any dead body inside of that, and she knew that. It wasn't until one of the best battles in Thyracia that she actually did escape. Once she did escape, she saw us Modularity, who is this other Azot, which you will actually see next week. And they actually fought him and her. And they actually were very strong against him and her. But then itself brought itself into the picture, no pun intended. Then us Modularity and us Resurrection fused and became one being. And that's pretty much the end of us Resurrection's story. The reason this takes place in a forest and the coffin is, a big point of this story is because that's primarily how us Resurrection spent the rest of her life, inside of a body and always wanting to get a hold of her coffin. I can only imagine what this creature could have done if she never became a spirit. It's a very scary thought and something that I really think could have ended the world had she had the power to do that. I have been the mysterious man in a hoodie, and I thank you for watching this video.